Hey!
What are you doing?
Well, look at all this beautiful corn, right?
Corn is one of my favorite. If it's on a menu, I will order it.
Right? Oh, I love corn. It's versatile. You can do so much with it. And in Maine, you know, being such a late harvest vegetable, it's so sweet right now. And it feels like the harvest moon just came out, right? So it's so great to have that.
Also one of my favorite songs.
So what I want to do is I want to make this recipe. Okay. I call it kind of like soufflé cornbread, you know? It
sounds very fancy.
It's not, another name for it, spoon bread, okay? But it's a great way, it goes wonderful as a side component to any dish. It's really fun. But I want to show you a nice fun chef trick here. When we're gonna cut the corn kernels off the cob, I like to use a bowl. So the corn kernels seem to go everywhere when you try to cut them off. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna take my knife and slowly shave them off. Don't worry about making corn round, because we'll get to that in a second. Okay. But just get enough of the corn kernels off without cutting into the cob.
The knife has to be pretty sharp.
Yeah, your knife has to be pretty decent, pretty sharp. Okay.
So I won't reach in and grab some.
Don't do that. Okay, so now we have some really good corn kernels here. Actually, Maggie, taste this corn and taste how sweet it is. Right?
It's so good. I mean, I would literally just eat that.
I know, right?
And actually, that's the recipe. It's just a bowl of corn.
Hold on.
And actually, speaking of recipes, you can put your pen down. All of these are on our website at platethestate.com.
Okay. So now what we're going to do, this is a great kind of chef hack, right, that we would do to get as much flavor out of this corn that we can. So I'm going to take a spoon, and as you can see those like edges when we cut the corn kernels off, I want to scrape them out. And see, as I'm scraping that, I'm getting that like, call it like corn pulp, right? Like we're almost like milking the cob right now to get all of that flavor, all of that fresh like corn starch out.
Move over oat milk, there's a new milk in town.
Right, and look at this. And so what I have here is, I've done some of this already, so we have a good start for our recipe. All right, okay. And what we're going to do is we're not going to throw any of these things out. We're actually going to use some of the cobs as well. Okay. All right. Okay, so why don't you grab these? Okay. I'm going to grab all of our corn pulp, and let's head over to the stovetop and I'll show you how we can use them.
Perfect.
All right. So in this pot, I have about 2 cups of milk and 2 cups of buttermilk, about half an onion, about a stick of butter, right? Now remember I said all the good stuff. I told you we're going to use those corn cobs. So I have some cobs in here, and they've been steeping for about 10 minutes, just on like a medium to low heat. We want to extract as much of that corn flavor as we can.
That is so clever. I've never seen that before.
Right? So we're going to take those corn cobs out now, but we're going to keep all that buttermilk and milk in there. Now we're going to add that corn pulp that we had, right? We're going to add all of that in there.
That's great. We'll start. So you're keeping this on a low simmer?
Keep it on a, yeah, basically like a low simmer. We're just kind of infusing it right now. And we want to do that for about another 2 minutes. All right, this is great. It's super combined now, okay? Now we're going to turn the heat to about medium high, okay? We don't want to get it too high because as corn cooks, it's going to release that sugar, and that's where you can actually get a browner kind of, you know, caramel color out of it, all right? So what we have over here is cornmeal, some really fine cornmeal, a little bit of sea salt, some of our honey, a couple grinds of black pepper, and we'll put in some nutmeg.
Okay.
Okay.
So you want me to do that right now?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's put that in. Yep. Okay, so you want to stir this. Now that we brought it up the temperature, we got it really hot, we're going to turn it back down to about medium. We're all over the place with the temperature. And then you want to let this go for about 2 or 3 minutes. Just constantly stirring. It doesn't have to be aggressive stir, just more of just agitating, you know, so it doesn't burn on the bottom, okay? This needs about 1 more minute. Earlier, I separated some eggs. If you could go grab those, and I'll meet you over at the blender and whip them up.
I'll see you over there.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna put those separated egg whites in our mixer with a little bit of cream of tartar. And what that does is just helps the egg whites get nice and extra fluffy. And again, don't worry, all of these recipes and instructions are on our website at platethestate.com. We're gonna start this off slow and get that cream of tartar and the egg whites incorporated.
All right, Maggie, how are those egg whites looking?
They are done and perfect. Do you want the yolks too?
Yeah, you can bring them both over.
So pretty.
Perfect. Oh my God, look at those.
Did I do good?
Oh, chef. All right, so now we have our cornmeal mash. It's nice and it's warm. It's not hot anymore, right? So it's not gonna cook those eggs as soon as we incorporate them. So we're gonna dump the eggs in there. Those are the yolks. And I'm gonna add maybe about a cup and a half of fresh corn kernels that we cut off the cob.
I did eat a lot of them while you were.
Okay, so maybe like half a cup of corn, right? So I want to mix that up now. So now that mash is turning into our batter.
It smells really good.
All right. Okay, now we're gonna fold in the egg whites.
Okay, ready?
Yep. Oh, those egg whites, Maggie, are perfect.
Clams.
Okay. Go ahead and dump those right in. Okay. And then when you put egg whites in, you fold it in, and by folding it in is you're incorporating a little bit of the ingredients from the bottom and slowly moving the egg whites around the rest of the batter. Because this is really the only leavening agent. There's no baking soda, there's no baking powder, there's no yeast in this. So we're just using the whipped egg whites is what's gonna give us that souffled cornbread kind of flavor and feel. Okay? Look at that. Now we're gonna take this nice plate here. Okay. And then we're gonna pour this right into our souffle dish.
So is it true, I think there's this rumor if there's a souffle, you can't be yelling or jumping in the house. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, there's only the egg whites that are suspending this up. So I'm gonna put this into our preheated 375-degree oven and let that bake. Cornbread souffle is ready.
So excited.
You ready? Here we go. All right.
The smell is incredible.
Oh.
Ooh, and that looks perfectly done.
So you want to check, look at that little bounce that it has right there. That's what we're looking for. Put a little bit of salt on that. Just a little bit of that cracked pepper. Okay? And then that grill that you got me, I put that into some good use out in the Hancock parking lot here. I was grilling up some baby back ribs to go with our cornbread.
Well, we have a wall of people about to bust through and attack you. There.
So I'm gonna take a nice little spoon of that.
So literally that's why it's called spoon bread.
Yeah. Right?
Oh.
It's so light, it's like fluffy. Okay?
Ooh. A cornbread facial, I love it.
Okay. I'm gonna take some of these ribs on here. Oh, they're delicious.
This is all incredible. And you know how much we love seeing these recipes that you make in your own homes. And if you follow us on social media, at Plate the State, you can go ahead and tag us and we can see for ourselves.
I can't wait to see them.